We're going to take you live to Peter Dutton, who has just popped up in one of the marginal seats that he needs to win. Let's take you live to the opposition leader.
Home affordability. Housing is a huge issue in our country, and I want to say thank you very much to Maxine, Corey and Leo as well for being here today. Their story is typical of many Australian families. Young families just started to look at housing. They're in rental accommodation at the moment. They don't believe that they can own a home, and they've given up on the dream of home ownership under this government. And what we intend to do is to restore that dream of home ownership. We can do it through good economic management, but we can do it through our positive plan to make home ownership a reality. We are going to bring on 500,000 new homes through our $5 billion fund, and as Jono just pointed out, the Tanya Plibersek model at the moment is just to stifle every development application in the country. That's why she's at odds with the Prime Minister, and it's why there is a supply problem for housing under this government. So we're going to increase supply. We're also going to make sure, as we said on the weekend and repeated this policy again, allow young Australians to access their super so that they can get the deposit together. We're going to stop foreigners from purchasing homes for a 2-year period so that young Australians don't have to compete in that market with foreigners who are cashed up. I also want to make sure that we can help young Australians achieve their dream through our tax deductibility policy, which we announced at the weekend. Now, this is a game changer for young families. And the reason it is when you go to the bank under our policy, which allows you to deduct the interest for the first $650,000 of the mortgage, that means that you are more likely to get the loan, and it means that you have greater means to service the loan. As Jono pointed out, the Prime Minister promised at the last election that mortgages would be lower, that electricity costs would be lower. It's just not the case, and many families are really struggling. Here in Aston at the moment, the bulk billing rate is down by 10% under this government. It's in free fall, and it's in free fall because the Prime Minister wants to pretend that people can just go to the doctors, flash their Medicare card, and somehow they're not going to have to pay an out-of-pocket fee. Well, that's just not the reality of families here in Melbourne and right across the country. And I think people are seeing through this Prime Minister and the promises that he's made, and I want to make sure we can get our country back on track again.